Good morning. It is Sunday, October the 5th, 2025, and this year is quickly zipping by. Uh, Please enjoy the scenery of Southwest England behind me. Today, we're going to look at some of the weather impacts across the southern United States, mainly in Florida, where I am, and just a really quick glimpse of the tropics. And let me get right in to the sharing mode here. First off, I'd like to do is show you a little bit what's going on in my local area. This is the North Central Florida radar out of Jacksonville, the National Weather Service out of Jacksonville. And as you can see, we have a good amount of scattered showers and thunderstorms moving. Well, actually, most of these are not even thunderstorms, they're just heavy showers. There really isn't much thunder involved. Pretty heavy shower just moving over the western suburbs of Jacksonville, like around White House area, Cecil Field, and then a few heavier showers moving right up into uh, what county is that in Georgia? It's not Lowndes County, it's Eccles County, Georgia, coming up around Homerville and Fargo, Georgia. Not a whole lot of people live there. It's mostly forest and the Swanee River that runs through there. And then there's a heavy shower moving right along the St. Mary's River, going up towards Folkston, Georgia. And then you can see a few more showers are kind of pivoting in off the Atlantic, coming in around the Daytona Beach area, and then just south of Palm Coast. This is kind of an overall flow pattern out of the east and east southeast that's just leading to this activity. And another thing I want to show you is the visible satellite loop. As you can see, I'm going to use a little coloration here. Wish I could make this wider. I don't like how it's so small. But anyway, actually, I wonder, is that any better? So right here, the National Hurricane Center was looking at an area of spin, a possible development, and here's the area right here of low pressure. Yesterday, it didn't look very impressive at all. It was 2 days ago they said it was running a chance of developing and moving, west northwest across the Florida Peninsula, which it is still going to do. And as you can see over here in the Gulf, we have a converging air mass. You've got winds coming in out of the south. Let me get this out of the way. We got winds coming in out of the southeast here, and then upper level winds going off out like that. So that's leading to some thunderstorm activity right over the north central Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, and it's pivoting in showers and heavy rain and thunderstorms right into the New Orleans area, right into southeast Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama area, and even over into the Panama City and Apalachicola areas. You have this real thick fetch of moisture coming up out of the Gulf, and that you have winds basically out of the southeast coming over the entire peninsula of Florida. And let me show you something else that's quite interesting about this. This is the upper level. This is the vorticity map here. If I can, here we go. So you can see how that, honestly, let me erase that. That circle I drew southeast of Florida, that perfectly overlays the uh, the feature that I'm looking at. This is the area of disturbed weather, and honestly, there's an elongated area of disturbed weather off of Louisiana and Texas that's not going to develop because it's running out of time, and the upper level winds are only marginally favorable for development, even if it had more time. So with that aside, there's another area of vorticity of note right here in the Eastern Caribbean, or entering the Eastern Caribbean. I haven't seen any signs of that developing because the upper level winds are a little bit strong in this area, which I will show in another screen here. Just give me a second here and get rid of that, get rid of that. Now watch this. Let me show you the upper level vorticity map here that I was just looking at. If I can find it. Yeah, 925. No, that's not it either. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yes, this is what I wanted. Let me show you the wind shear tendency. This is the current wind shear, and it's not wanting to do it for me. Oh, yeah, here you go. So basically, we have this huge tropical upper tropospheric trough, TUT, that's basically just riding along. And let me change the color here if I can. Let's change the color here. So you basically have you have the huge trough, and the upper level westerlies are just, this is the subtropical jet actually. And that's the reason the upper level winds are so strong over Florida. And the National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center, is not even indicating anymore that this area right here, this area, let's see if I can draw it again. This area right here is not going to develop, but it's still going to bring disturbed weather to Florida over the next couple of days, especially tomorrow, Monday. And let me show you a visible satellite map of the southwestern Atlantic, the very northern part of the Caribbean, and the eastern Gulf. And as you can see very clearly right here, let me use a different color here. Let's use blue. Look at this. You can very, very faintly see a surface low pressure area right here. I know that's the wrong color for a low pressure, but you get the idea. The winds are kind of flowing around it like this. But you can also see, I'm going to pick a different color. You can see all the upper level wind shear just ripping across it like that. However, even though this is likely not going to develop, it's like a 0% chance to 5% chance of it developing. In my opinion, it's got about a 5% chance of developing into something, even though they're saying zero and they're not even mentioning anymore. I would say that look at this, if you look at this thunderstorm activity that I'm looking at right here, let's that's a market increase of thunderstorm activity just since yesterday. And if it can organize more if they can get more thunderstorm activity on this side, this thing probably will be added back in the outlook again as a 20% chance within the next next 2 days, before it reaches the coast of Florida. Regardless, the trajectory of the activity is something like this. So basically, if you're in the probably the West Palm Beach area up to Daytona, this stretch of the Florida coast here, we're going to see a marked increase in shower and thunderstorm activity and breeziness during the day Monday on this October 6th as this thing tracks west northwest and then eventually northwest over the peninsula. And like I said, it's not likely to develop, but at the very least, heavy rain, gusty winds right along the east central coast of Florida, where I have this highlighted yellow here, especially along the Space Coast, Melbourne, Palm Bay, maybe down to Jupiter, and then up to around Daytona Beach. And then going inland around Orlando, you're going to get heavy showers and storms tomorrow as well. And then just for the sake of it, or the heck of it, let's get out here a minute and let us look at the some of the other satellite shots here. Let's look at the entire Western Atlantic here. Yeah, just to give you an idea, there was that disturbance that I was talking about watching my cursor here. There was a area of vorticity right here over the Eastern Caribbean, and it's not really showing anything. And as you can see here in the northern Gulf of Mexico, I can get something. Uh, Here we go. Let's slide this away here. Now look at this. There's nothing really organized in those clouds, so nothing's put a big X over that. That's not going to develop. This is pretty, this is the thunderstorm activity that's developing right here around that low pressure area. Probably has more to do with the diffluent flow of air aloft. Like you have upper level westerlies and you have like an upper level low here, and so it's creating diffluent flow. Air is just kind of it's spreading out like this, going this way and that way, and the area in between the spreading out air is what's creating the convection. Let me see if I can. I got to erase this stuff now. Oh, here we go. Let's erase all this now, and let's go back to where we were before. There's the vorticity map. And let me see, this is not what I wanted. Let's look at the Atlantic wide view just to end the video. And as you can see, it looks like I left another one up there. Let's get rid of that. So as you can see, this feature right out here, this is Invest Area 95L that is probably going to develop into a hurricane somewhere in this area right here. The point is, though, I want to show you the trajectory. It's going to come across like this, come up here like this, and boom, out to sea. These upper level westerlies that you're seeing right here, let's pick a different color. I'm going to pick yellow. You can see these upper level westerlies like this that have been very profound this entire hurricane season are going to continue staying there. And we're not going to see any Cape Verde hurricanes approach the U.S. coast because of that reason. So I have to wait until 2026 because this year, if we're going to have a hurricane hit anywhere on the U.S. coast, it's probably going to have to be the Gulf Coast, probably Louisiana eastward, Louisiana to Florida, and very unlikely for Louisiana at this point. I'm thinking there's going to be a much higher chance that the southwest coast of Florida around Naples would get hit by a hurricane. Because typically, if a hurricane doesn't hit along the Gulf Coast in the first 10 days of October, the chances go down precipitously, or I don't know, that's not the right word. But anyway, that's all I have to report on the weather right now. So if you live in Florida, especially East Central Florida, Orlando area, Daytona Beach, coming inland to Ocala and even Gainesville where I live, it's gonna be a wet day tomorrow on Monday, the 6th of October. All right, well, guys, have a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you again soon.